As they say, money can pretty much buy you anything. And if you're Nikita Mazepin, it might even buy you a way back into F1. That's right, the Russian driver with tons of controversies tied to him is fighting his way back, and his billionaire father might have something to do with it. Welcome to today's video, fellow Formula One enthusiasts. A video that unveils the untold story behind one of the most controversial figures in the sport, Nikita Mazepin. Prepare yourself for a riveting expose that will unravel the intricate web of manipulation and intrigue surrounding his quest to make a comeback in Formula One. As you dive into this captivating video, you'll discover the hidden maneuvers, cunning tactics, and behind-the-scenes secrets that have fueled Mazepin's relentless pursuit to reclaim his place on the grid. You'll find where all the pieces of this puzzle finally come together. And by subscribing to our channel, you ensure that you never miss an update, giving you the exclusive access to the most compelling stories from the world of Formula One. Hit that subscribe button now and become part of our community of passionate F1 fans, eager to delve into the untold narratives that shape the sport we love. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready as we unravel the shocking revelations that expose Nikita Mazepin's path of manipulation in his relentless pursuit to return to Formula One. This is a video you won't want to miss. So, surprise, surprise, after being sacked by the Haas F1 team nearly a year ago, Nikita Mazepin is working on making his return to racing. Or is it his father, Dmitry Mazepin, that is aggressively working on it behind the scenes? Nikita made his team debut during the 2021 season and was certain to return in 2022. But then Mazepin was removed just before the season began due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which prompted Kevin Magnussen to make an unexpected comeback to fill the vacancy. Mazepin and his father Dmitry were also included on a list of those who are the target of sanctions imposed by the European Union. Despite a long absence from international competition, Mazepin made his return to compete in the 2023 Asian Le Mans Series as he was added to the 99 Racing Team lineup. But wait, there's more to this. The former Haas driver stated he'll only be competing in the Asian Le Mans Series in 2023 as he searches for his opportunity to return to Formula One. Back in 2021, Mazepin made the switch from Formula 2 to Formula 1. However, most would agree that this was only because his father's business signed a title sponsorship agreement with Haas. So Mazepin had to persuade people that he earned the right to compete with the world's top drivers on his own merits. The Haas VF21 didn't help to do that. The car was easily the slowest on the 2021 grid, and for most of the season, Mazepin had trouble keeping up with his fellow rookie teammate Mick Schumacher. He was expected to remain with Haas for 2022, but the team severed connections with the Mazepins during the off-season. Since then, Mazepin has only competed in the SSV class of the 2022 Silkway Rally. Turns out, he doesn't want to devote himself entirely to rally driving and stated that he'll return to international competitions in 2023, even if it's in an unspecified and creative capacity. There's no doubt that this guy has generated controversy ever since he entered Formula One. The fact that his father is a billionaire and the team signed him while searching for drivers with financial backing was no surprise, and then he was soon involved in a scandal after groping a young woman. His driving prowess was also questioned as he wrecked on his debut F1 lap and had other run-ins with the Schumachers, including teammate Mick. But wait, rewind, what's that we mentioned about his dad? Well, according to reports, Dmitry Mazepin was seen at the Kremlin on Vladimir Putin's invitation with a group of Russian business people to discuss NATO sanctions. So naturally, in 2022, the FIA deliberated over Mazepin's future in Formula One as he waited in suspense. Even though the Haas F1 team driver hadn't broken any laws himself, the FIA conducted a rare meeting to decide whether to act on a request from the Automobile Federation of Ukraine to suspend all Russian driver licenses. And as Mazepin drove under the Russian flag connected to his super license, the FIA president extended his full support in approving the suspension in light of the events. But this wasn't the first time there were calls to boot him out of F1. We all know that Mazepin is a controversial figure in Formula One, both on and off the track, and this isn't the first time there have been talks for him to be completely expelled from the sport. Whilst competing in the European Formula 3 Championship, he was racing for the high-tech Grand Prix team and got into an argument with Callum Ilott of Art GP. Believe it or not, Mazepin actually attacked the British driver following a free practice session. Ilott sustained cuts to his cheek and neck, as well as swelling in his jaw, and was reportedly traumatised by the entire incident. The FIA penalised Mazepin with only a one-race suspension for his improper conduct in the pit lane. Then, as we mentioned, he received harsh criticism just a few weeks after signing on with Haas in November 2020 after a video of him allegedly groping Andrea Deval, a female friend, in the backseat of a Porsche appeared on Instagram. The Haas F1 team issued a statement criticising Mazepin's behaviour and calling the incident abhorrent, forcing the Russian to post an apology on social media in response to all the backlash they were getting to fire him. In fact, the hashtag #WeSayNoToMazepin was used to launch a campaign against the driver. Even still, Haas decided to keep him for the 2021 season. You see, Mazepin is what the sport refers to as a pay driver, because unlike drivers like Lewis Hamilton, who came from a working-class background, his entire entry into the sport has been supported by his billionaire father, Dmitry. After launching the chemical company Uralchem in 2007, the Russian oligarch amassed an estimated personal wealth of over $5 billion. Haas received sponsorship from Uralkali, the Russian business in which his father is an investor, and the $30 million per season agreement was seen as crucial to the team's future, with their 2021 car sporting Russia's national colours of white, blue and red. Nikita struggled to rise in the racing ranks. Plenty of on-track mishaps scarred Mazepin's first season in the sport. He had multiple spin-offs, as a result, getting the nickname Mazespin. Also, the Haas car was clearly in last place in 2021, but Mick Schumacher, Nikita's teammate and the son of seven-time world champion Michael, often outpaced Mazepin. Throughout the course of the season, Mazepin did exhibit some minor gains of improvement. His best placing was 14th at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku, but it just wasn't enough. Because of Mazepin's aggressive behaviour towards Schumacher, the two developed a tense friendship. Mazepin even said that Schumacher effed up his qualifying lap at the Dutch Grand Prix on purpose. Little did he know what was coming for him. Nikita claims that when the 50-word press statement appeared in his inbox on a normal Saturday morning, he discovered that he'd been fired. Haas insists that he was informed earlier. How much time passed between the two communications is unclear, but who do we believe? 4 days later, Mazepin's father's name was included on a new list of Russians who had been sanctioned. Nikita claimed in an interview that he was shocked to see himself on that list as well and believed it was unfair. He even insisted that his contract and the organisation's agreement with his father's business were completely different. Sure, on paper that may be the case, but in reality, one cannot exist without the other. For example, Mazepin would not have made it into Formula 1 based on talent alone, unlike many other paid drivers who came before him. He had the option to sign the Declaration of Neutrality to compete under the FIA flag, which was neither a denunciation of Putin nor the conflict nor an endorsement of it. In fact, he was given 3 additional chances during his ESPN interview to separate himself from the invasion and Putin, but he chose not to do so. Go figure. Instead, he used every opportunity to discuss how he felt it was unfair to ban athletes from a particular country from competing. What's more, he went ahead and created a non-profit organisation called We Compete as One, established for Russian athletes who cannot compete in sport due to the sanctions imposed on their nation. Now, he claims he didn't get the chance to sign the waiver because the suspension came as a surprise. But he didn't outright denounce the invasion either now, did he? Maybe it has something to do with the way Russia treats people who go against Putin, especially when the Mazepins are clearly in his inner circle. We know that Dmitry, like many other billionaires, was subjected to sanctions by the EU after Russia invaded Ukraine. As a result, he was forced to leave the squad along with his son. The most recent development was that Dmitry literally disappeared, along with 2 of his yachts seized by Italian authorities. It is the first case in Italy of a Russian with assets frozen in the country who has managed to dodge EU sanctions. And now, all of a sudden, we hear that the ban preventing the Formula Haas driver from competing in European races has reportedly been lifted because of a successful appeal. The decision determined that Mazepin was not a member of the war against Ukraine and did not work in any industry that technically benefited Russia. Also, according to the ruling, the European Council didn't present enough convincing evidence to demonstrate that Nikita was still tied to his father. Crazy, right? Daddy's influence, perhaps? What do you think? Let's be clear though, Mazepin and his father aren't just regular Russians who found themselves in a complex political scenario. They're some of the wealthiest billionaires in Russia and close friends of Vladimir Putin. But hey, something has worked in their favour, right? Let us know in the comments what you think it is. Thank you for joining us on this eye-opening journey into the untold story of the Mazepin's manipulations on a quest for a Formula 1 comeback. We've peeled back the layers, revealing the intricate web of intrigue that surrounds him and his father's actions. We value your support and engagement. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with fellow Formula One enthusiasts who would find it equally fascinating. Your support helps us continue to bring you compelling content that challenges the status quo and delves into the untold aspects of the sport we love. Stay tuned for more gripping narratives and in-depth analysis as we uncover the untold stories that shape Formula One. Together, let's continue to explore the intriguing and sometimes controversial aspects of motorsports. Thank you for being a part of our community, F1 Racing Now, your inside track to all things F1. We'll see you in the next captivating video.